So we're going to do a grid for this project, and so what I've got here is a piece of plastic. You have a full sheet. I'm using scrap, so I have a little bit. And I've got a picture. Now mine is a printout, and of course, because I was telling you options for printers, mine decided to die. So it's printed badly here, but it can still give me the composition. I'll also show you how to do it on a screen, but it's easier to record here below. So I'm going to start with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this down, and the reason I'm taping it down is because once I start drawing my grid lines, I don't want to, I want them to be lined up around my drawing here. So I need to have the plastic stay put. I also am using just a fine-tipped marker. I did test it over here, and one of the things you'll notice is if you test it immediately, it generally will smudge. So if you wait a minute, this line that I drew before won't smudge. So give it a moment. Now, one other thing, I am not drawing my lines directly on the paper, and that's because I might make a mistake, or my line might be thick enough that it's hard to see a detail. So I want to be able to fix that. So I'm going to draw a grid over the top of this picture. And if you like math, you can divide your grid using math, and I'm going to kind of show you that option. But I've also got another option for those of us who don't like figuring out how many inches are, what's a quarter of an inch and a centimeter, and the math end of things. So I'm just kind of drawing in the boundaries of my grid, and you can see why you do it on plastic, because if you screw up like that, you can pick it up and look around it. I'm not drawing it right on the paper. I'm drawing it on the plastic so you can see through. And then what I personally am going to use is this and this. I haven't decided if I'm using this, but I don't care. For this assignment, I'm not going to transfer all of the information. I don't need it all. My text is going to fit in some of these other spaces. But we're not worried about the picture right now. We're worried about making the grid. And so I was just telling you that because that means that I could have my grid end not quite all the way over here. Now this picture is pretty much exactly 7 inches wide. So I'm going to make a tick mark at each inch marking. And then I'm going to do the same thing up here at the top. So hopefully I didn't take that out of even. So I'm going to do another tick mark at the top at those inch points. And this is just going to help me draw straight lines. If you're worried about being uneven, you can give yourself a tick mark in the middle as well. And then you can line up those lines. Let me start from over here where you can see, I think you can see better. And then I'm going to be careful about holding my ruler and draw my line. Remember, if you don't have a ruler, you can use anything that is flat and even. So you can use the edge of a book, you can use the edge of a sketchbook, those sorts of things. Now remember I told you that if you didn't want to do math, you could figure out the measurements with something other than inches. So I personally right now this is 5 inches by 5 inches. And so I'm going to make the divisions the same top to bottom. I'm going to do 5-inch tick marks, and then I'm going to do the same over here, 5-inch tick marks. I'm sorry, 1-inch tick marks every inch. There are 5 of them. And then that's going to allow me to line this up. Now, it's really important for this grid that you do squares. If you end up doing a grid of rectangles, so if I do those even and then these ones are skinnier, this is gonna be a little bit more awkward of a shape to translate, to use. On the next video, I'm gonna show you how to use paper to do slightly different measurements.